Hey guys, Jim here again to bring you guys another fight prediction video. And today I'm going to do a fight prediction video on the UFC 155 co-main event that features the former UFC light heavyweight champion and the original Ultimate Fighter winner Forrest Griffin when he takes on the rising star Phil Davis in a light heavyweight showdown. I will give you guys a backstory on how this fight came together, some background information on both guys, along with a full detailed fight breakdown on their weaknesses, where they're strongest at, and how I see the fight unfolding. Along with that, I will give you guys my official prediction on who's going to win this fight and what are the implications for the winner and loser of this fight. Now, without further ado, let's get this started right now. Backstory of how this fight got put together goes like this. Forrest Griffin was originally scheduled to face off of the former top middleweight contender Chael Sonnen in a light heavyweight bout, but Chael got pulled from the card to coach alongside of John Jones for the next season of Tough, and he will later meet Jones after the show concludes in April for the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship. And that left Forrest without an opponent. So, according to Vitor, I don't know how true this is. It's probably just a rumor or whatever, but according to him, Forrest was given a list of 6 people he could fight, and he didn't want to fight Vitor. And Rampage already said he didn't want to fight him either. And so, subsequent to that, Phil Davis was announced as Forrest's next opponent. And coming into this fight, Forrest is 3-1 in his last 4 fights, with victories over Tito Ortiz, Rich Franklin, a loss to Shogun Rua, and another victory over Tito most recently in their trilogy, closing out Tito's career, where he won by a unanimous decision in a very close contested contest. And I feel Tito won the fight because, I mean, he rocked him and he took him down twice, but Forrest did enough in the judge's eyes to win the fight. So it is what it is. But the one thing that kills me and then kills everybody about the fight is that after it was over and they were going to read the judge's scorecards, he ran out like an idiot. And not to mention, instead of giving Tito his time to talk with Joe Rogan and say what he has to say at the very end, this bozo decided to take the microphone and interview Tito. That was bullshit. That is what it is. But Phil Davis coming into this fight is 10-1, and it's been a really tough year for him. In his last 4 fights, he has a loss to Rashad Evans, where he royally got beat down and humiliated, and a no contest with Wagner Prado, but however he did recover in his third fight this year. He submitted Wagner with an anaconda choke in a very grappling heavy, exciting contest. I mean, Phil is a wrestler, is the NCAA Division I wrestler from Penn State. So he's going to bring that pedigree going into this, not to mention the jiu-jitsu. So, I mean, it's basically in this fight, it's the former champion fighting for relevancy because Dana White already wants Forrest to retire, and Phil Davis, the rising star, fighting for legitimacy because he's still lacking a signature win over a top light heavyweight. He beat Nogueira, but that was pretty boring. That was very boring to watch. It wasn't that exciting. It was I don't know. It was worse than any Jacob Shields fights I've ever seen, but it is what it is. But that's just basically it. We have the young gun trying to take out the old gun to cement his standing among the elite, and we got the old gun trying to say, I'm still here, I'm not retiring anytime soon, I'm going to make a run for the title. So with that being said, let's get to the detailed fight breakdown right now. The breakdown for this fight goes like this. When it comes to the wrestling department, Phil wins. When it comes to the striking department, Forrest wins. The jiu-jitsu aspect is a little tricky. Forrest is a black belt under Robert Drysdale. Phil is a blue belt under Lloyd Irvin. But Phil, top game and submissions are very, very good. So is his ground and pound. But where he has the most trouble is up there standing. Because for the most part, what he wants to do is use his striking to set up takedowns so he can get submissions and ground and pound. Where Forrest, he wants to keep it on the feet and stand up with Phil. I mean, and if he possibly can, he probably might go for his own takedown. I don't see him getting it, but he might go for one. If it's there, he can get it, like he did with Rich, because he has shown the ability to mix it up. As of late, when he fought Rich Franklin, he stood up with Rich, and he grappled with Rich, took him down, and pounded him a bit. And, you know, he showed his submissions when he submitted Chael Sonnen early in his career, and when he most famously choked out Mauricio Shogun Rua in his debut fight in the UFC. But the main thing I have to say with Forrest is that he is susceptible to getting hit hard and getting knocked out as of late. Because he got knocked out by Rashad, who scrambled his brains. Anderson Silva made him look like a child. And Mauricio Shogun Rua, well, he put the exclamation point on that. He knocked him out. End of story. But that being said, he won't have to worry about that with Phil, because Phil doesn't have that kind of power in his hands. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he pulls a spectacular knockout of Forrest Griffin. I don't see it happening, but it's possible. Anything can happen in the UFC, but unlikely. But he does have the wrestling, which is going to give Forrest fits. Because if he fought Chael, he was going to get taken down. He's going to get taken down by Phil, and he's going to basically have Phil on top of him, trying to pour down punches and going for submission attempts. So, in that respect, he's going to have to defend those submission attempts, threaten with his own submission attempts, and basically get this fight back on the feet by wall walking, and if he can, when Davis trying to shoot for him, stuff those takedowns. Which if he does, it might be once, because I see Phil taking him down repeatedly, honestly, in this fight. So, for Phil, it's basically get Forrest to his world, which is the ground. Taking him down with those explosive takedowns of his, and basically getting in those submissions and ground and pound, you know, and soften Forrest up and go for a gator roll so he can switch it for Anaconda. But if it's there, Kimura, like the modified Kimura he hit on Tim Bochet to set him up to middleweight, or another Anaconda choke that he put on Alexander Gustafsson, and most recently, Wagner Prado. This one guy is looking to get this to the ground, pound the guy out, and submit the other guy. And the other guy is looking to keep this on the feet, get a submission if it's there, if he can submit him. but for the most part, keep it on the feet where Phil is the weakest. This is basically your grappler versus striker matchup. I mean, Forrest is a striker with the grappling skills, but Phil is a heavy, heavy grappler. That's his bread and butter. Because he has both those dimensions of grappling down on point with the wrestling and the submissions. Although Forrest is a higher level submission artist than him, Phil's a better overall grappler when you combine the two, but you know, that's just my opinion and various other people's opinions, I'm guessing, but Phil has the advantage of overall grappling, but Forrest has the advantage in just the submissions because of the black belt. But then again, that doesn't really mean too much, because sometimes even a black belt will get submitted by even a purple belt. Because it's basically how well you use the skills you have. It's not about having the title of that, it's on how well you use it. Because even a master with, you know, a rock, or like basically a rusty shuriken, can still be the guy with a samurai sword, because it's about the wielder, not the weapon, the wielder, and how effectively they can use their weapons in their fight. But I see the fight unfolding like this. I see a grappling contest, I see a striking contest for Forrest, because Forrest is going to basically strike Phil a bit, and then Phil might strike with him a little bit too, because he doesn't have to worry about getting knocked out. But for the most part, he's going to use his striking to set up takedowns. But he might get a knockout. You know, I might be wrong, he might get a knockout. Stranger things have happened. I don't see it happening, but likelihood Forrest is, you know, striking with them, because they're going to stand it up eventually, and they're going to continue in a complete MMA style match. Everything mixed martial arts is going to happen in this fight, because it's either going to end by unanimous decision or by submission. I don't see either one of these guys knocking each other out, but like I said, stranger things have happened. Now, my official prediction for this fight is coming up right now. My official prediction for this fight is that Phil Davis wins this fight by submission, by anaconda choke. I see him getting that gator roll and submitting Forrest. But then again, he can win this by unanimous decision with the wrestling, because unlike Tito, he can shoot more than twice and get a successful takedown on Forrest Griffin. He's younger, he's more agile, and he's more explosive. With that being said, could Forrest pull off a submission, or can he beat this man by unanimous decision? Yes. But I have to say, if I was betting on this fight, I have to go with Phil. He's the safe bet. So that ends my prediction, the analysis of this fight. If you like this video, you guys know where to give me a thumbs up and show me some love by subscribing above. If you want some more videos like this, well, Jimmy's signing off. Peace.